Hey Pixies! Today I'm going to show you my filing routine. I used Double Dip liquids, Dollhouse Wallflower, Sparkling Co Margaritas with my señoritas, and Ocean Eyes from Dollhouse. So I do have discount codes for Dollhouse and Double Dip, which will be linked down below. I will also link my nail drill and everything else, but I cannot link the Sparkle & Co color because my friend Isabel sent it to me and I believe it's from a sub bag. I don't think it's for individual purchase. So this is my nail drill. I will link it below. I purchased it from Amazon. I think it was around $15 when I purchased it. So I got this as like a beginner one, and I've been messing around with it to see if I want to invest in a more expensive one. So this is the controller. It's forward and reverse, and then that is the speed control. It's actually, in my opinion, it's pretty good for a little $15 nail drill, and I've been using it for a year. Well, I haven't been using it for the full year. I've just started to actually use it. I was using it a while back. I stopped, and now I've started to try to use it again because, like I said, I might want to invest in a more expensive, better quality nail drill. So I'm just playing around with it to see how I like it, actually using that versus the hand file because I'm so used to using the hand file. Now this bit is pretty much the only bit that I use, and that flat end, I take that along the cuticle and sidewall area to remove any of the excess product and start to shape it into a nice round shape. Once I do that, then I take the middle to back end of the bit and I run it along my cuticle and sidewall area to start thinning that out. So I look at it from all different directions to see if there's any bumps or any parts that are a little bit thicker. I specifically wanted to use dip liquids for you because there is far more buffing and filing with dip liquids versus gel. So I wanted to make sure that I used the dip liquids to show the full thing if you're doing a dip manicure instead of using gel to apply it. So once I do that, like I said, I'm looking at it from all different directions. So right now I'm looking at it from the front to see if the sidewalls or anywhere else needs to be a little thinned out. Once I'm happy with the shaping, because we are going to do more after this, then I move on to the next nail. I do run the nail bit over the entire nail real quick once I'm happy with it because you can feel little bumps when you're filing your nail with it. So you may not see it with your eye or vice versa, but you will feel it whenever you go over a bump. It kind of bumps up a little bit. So then I know I need to work on that spot a little bit. You just want to make sure you're not starting out with a fast speed or pushing too hard because then you could break through your clear dip powder that you use to protect your color. And if you break through that, then you'll start to file away the actual color of your nail, which is much easier to do with a nail drill. So I am going to finish up here, and when I'm done with that, I'll be back for the next step. Okay, so we have moved on to our hand file, and this is how I used to do my entire nail, and sometimes I still do. I like the hand file, but sometimes I change my manicure sometimes daily, so that gets really hard on the skin around my nails. So, and actually speaking of skin, I saw some questions about Cuticle Care. I do have that, I think, in my updated prep video, but what I've been doing recently is every night before I go to bed, I put a thin layer of the Neosporin or triple antibiotic ointment as like right around my cuticle and sidewall area. I let that absorb for a minute or so, and then I put a little bit of cuticle oil on top of that. And I also use a hand lotion, and it's actually an after sun lotion with aloe in it. So that's what I've been doing, and using the Neosporin, I've seen the hugest difference in the health of my cuticles. So let me explain to you what I'm doing. I'm off that tangent. Let me explain what I'm doing with the hand file. So I take the rougher side and I run it all along my cuticle and sidewall area, and then once I'm happy with the shape of that, I start to reshape my nails. Dip powder fills in the tips. It fills in your whole nail, but you lose the shape. And I'm just reshaping that, making it nice and sharp and squared off. Then I take the softer side of the nail file and I run that on the whole nail just to give it a nice extra little buff. And then once I'm happy with that, I use an alcohol prep pad to clean up my nails. You can rinse with water. I just prefer to do this because I don't have to get up and go anywhere. So you can rinse with water, just do not use soap. And then dry your hand off with like a lint-free paper towel or something. So once I use the alcohol prep pad and get the dust off, I take the sharp end of my cuticle pusher and I just lightly run it along the cuticle and sidewall area. There is some excess product there that I can't even usually see it with my naked eye, but I have noticed sometimes when I top coat, there's some product that shows up at my cuticle area that I couldn't see. And since I started doing this and just using that to remove anything that's on I just run it all along the cuticle and sidewall, and I do get some excess product off of there. So I haven't noticed that happening. So I just make sure everything's good, and once I'm done with that, I'll be back in a second. We have activated the second time, and I waited about a minute and a half, and I just wiped it off with a lint-free paper towel just to get any excess off. And I am going to apply my double dip top coat, which I love. It's my favorite dip top coat, and actually their dip liquids are my favorite, so love them. I'm going to do as few quick brush strokes as possible. I want to say 2 to 3, but with these nail tips, it's a little bit more than that sometimes. And I'm wiping my brush off on the paper towel before I put it back in the bottle. I do not want any excess activator to end up in the bottle and harden my liquid. So I am going to wait about 30 seconds until it starts to look a little crinkly and matte. Now I'm going in with that second layer, which can be much more detailed. And if you're looking for longevity in your manicure, make sure you're capping your freons, because if you don't, you could get some chipping at the edge of your nail, or it could lift and separate. So we are all dry and this is our finished look. I love the way it turned out. I love the bright color with the blues and I'm super happy with it. So I'm going to finish up with my cuticle oil as usual. While I do that, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps YouTube share it to others and recommend it. So it does help me out. If you'd like to see more content, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. I have new videos every Monday and Thursday. If you have any questions, leave a comment below or find me on Instagram at Dipping Pixie. I also have a TikTok, which is Dipping Pixie. Both will be linked below. That's it for this one, guys, and I will see you in the next one.